Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Hello, and for everyone who is listening and not watching, we have a very special guest today. We would like to welcome Gabby Warwick to Gloves Off Seattle. Welcome, Gabby.
Yay, it's been a
Hello,
minute
thanks
since
for
we've had a
having me.
guest.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has been a minute since we've had a guest. And why we're very interested to talk to Gabby today, and for those that don't know, is Gabby is an equipment manager for the Torrent. So we thank you so much for your time today. And I think we like to start the conversation off always the same way with people is tell us your hockey story. How did you get into hockey?
So actually, I think I have a pretty unique one in terms of coming to the Torrance. I'm actually from Tacoma, Washington. Grew up here.
That's where we live. I don't know if you knew
That's where I
that.
am right now too, visiting
Yay!
family. But yeah, I grew up here. Growing up, didn't start playing hockey till I was 12 years old. There really wasn't much hockey around here, let alone girls hockey.
Yes.
Played boys till I was 14, 15, and then every weekend was spent playing for the Wild or Seattle Junior, and we drove 4 to 5 hours, stayed in hotels every weekend to play in Canada against other women. So it kind of holds a special place in my heart that there's even more youth girls hockey around here as opposed to, the Torrent in particular. From there, I got recruited to play at Adrian College in Michigan. And had I never gone to Adrian, I never would have been an equipment manager. I'd say probably my first or second week of college, I haphazardly got to talking to the men's NCAA head coach, and he asked me, "What was your dream job if you think about it?" And I, for the first time, said, "I'd love to be a hockey equipment manager." And he was like, "Great, you're on board." So he taught me everything I know. He coaches in the AHL now, Coach Krug, but taught me how to sharpen skates, how to dress the locker room, how to interact with the players, not to be a fan, just like really showed me how it was done. But being an 18-year-old girl, freshman in college on my own team, working with
I was going to ask, you
21
were
to-
playing hockey in
yeah,
college too, right? Okay, okay.
yeah, and I had to work with 21 to 25-year-old guys who I went to college with. So really had to learn early on like a professional boundary and just kind of how they should be treated, even at the Division 3 level, in anything I can do to make their life easier. And I can't imagine my college experience having not done that. We went on to win the first national championship for the college by the time I was a senior. So it was really, really special there. And from there, that kind of propelled me to work for Long Island University, men's NCAA Division 1.
Okay, wait. Before you go
Yeah, I
on,
have questions.
I have questions too. But the first question is, I think I know the answer, but I'm asking you, what position did you play?
Goalie, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really
Yeah.
deep dive?
I know we knew
Goalie, but
we
we
knew you
needed
were
to
a
hear you
goalie, but
say
I
it.
was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I have a thing for goalies. Obviously, I have a painting of a goalie behind us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, as a
my
goaltender, especially, you have a very special, sacred almost relationship with your equipment. So
yeah,
I think I've
yeah.
always been a little more attuned to that. And I was never ever the best goalie or the starting goalie growing up. So I was like, what can I do to stay involved in hockey, stay involved in equipment? And I picked the right position.
That's
So
awesome.
that was
yeah.
my question. Like how when this coach asked you what was your dream job, like how did you know it was equipment manager? Like had you had an equipment manager at that point that really like, got your heart or what?
No, honestly, like I think it was maybe the last couple seasons of hockey. It was like my family, but I volunteered to take home my youth team's jerseys and wash them and fold them. And whenever someone needed, their sticks taped or, the practice jerseys as well, like I was always just more than happy to. I always spent a lot of time obsessing over my gear, even though it wasn't that nice, but trying different things out, just always has been super just like into it. And I think in that very moment, whatever stars aligned in my head, I was like, because I think the role I was applying for was to be their video coach or like keep stats or something. And I said equipment manager, and he was like, "Great, we have an opening." And I was really fortunate to be kind of mentored that season by an older campus security officer who was their equipment manager, and he taught me everything I knew. And unfortunately, he passed away at the end of the season, but he
Oh,
gave me a good foundation of just, why we do the job. And it's because we care. Like especially now, like working with these high level athletes, you learn to care about them, as people as opposed to athletes. Like when they have a bad game and you can see them wear it on their face. And
Mm.
so just
Oh no.
walk into that rink and have no thoughts besides the game is kind of
Yeah.
my philosophy. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. So we pulled you off track of your
Yeah,
hockey
a
story,
little
but
bit.
you now we're in New Jersey. Is
Long
that
Island.
Long
Long
Island?
Island
Not New
University.
Jersey. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Hot New
yeah.
Actually,
Jersey.
kind of a parallel experience to what we're going through year one with the Torrent, but I joined that team the year after COVID. And it was their first or second year as a Division One team. And
And it
so
was men's, right? It was
men's,
men's there
yep,
too. Okay.
men's
Okay.
Division One. And our first road trip was to play Penn State. So there I was, the only 21-year-old girl on a staff of a bunch of like 30s men and a bunch of older Division One players. And that was really, we were the Sharks, and it was kind of cute to say, but I was really thrown into with the Sharks there because it was a
Perfect
lot, it was a
analogy.
grind, smaller new schools certainly don't have the resources that the schools we played against do. So we'd have to really taught me how to think of, solutions creatively, how to do things without spending a lot of money, and how to just put out all the fires before, any issues, like cover them up before the players would see, because we're the fire extinguishers, not them. They should just, like I said, show up, play hockey, go home, get a good night's sleep. So I got the opportunity there. Like we traveled to play Arizona State, Alaska Fairbanks, Omaha, Notre Dame, Penn State. Like it was a spectacular experience to get to travel and network with all these professional equipment managers so young in my career. Even
Forgive
though it
me
was
if I,
hard. Yeah, it
yeah, I'll
was,
bet, but forgive me if I don't know this, which I don't, but you said it like kind of mirrored the Torrent story.
yeah.
Was it a new school
That's
that
what she said. It was a
Yeah,
brand
it
new
was a
new
brand new
school.
team. It was
school?
a
I
brand
missed
new
Yeah.
that.
team.
Sorry.
And
Yeah.
like this year, fortunately, we have huge support from the league and
Right.
other teams, like me having come from Boston. But it's just still like building anything. You could ask Meg, you could ask Steve, anybody, building anything the first year is hard. And so it kind of prepped me for, the grind and having to think through problems and think a couple steps ahead. I think it was difficult at the time, but just a really invaluable experience in my journey.
Well, and I think I saw an accolade that you were the first female
Yeah.
head
Yeah.
equipment manager.
I was the
And was
first.
it there? Was it at
Yeah,
that
I was the
school? Yeah.
first female head equipment manager in men's Division One. I remember they put that out. My whole family was watching the Notre Dame LIU game because it was on NBCSN. And
Mm.
they put I had no idea they did it. I was just standing on the bench, probably zoning out a little bit between whistles. And my after the game, I got my phone was blown up with that picture of first female head equipment manager in men's D1 history. So it was kind of a special moment after the fact. But I never really thought of myself that way, during the job. To me, I was just a new kid in town and trying to fake it till I make it and do right by the players. So that was a very special year too. I still talk to a bunch of those, coaches, and yeah, those are a good group.
So,
Amazing.
and how long were you at Long Island?
One season, one
Oh,
season.
just one season. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
After that, I decided to pivot to women's hockey for the first time, and went and worked for the University of Maine women's hockey for 2.5 seasons until I left for Boston. And completely different environment from Long Island in terms of town, population size, things to do. We were kind of in the middle of nowhere up in Orono. Anyone who's been there,
Well,
like,
and
can
that's
speak to
CJ's
that.
alma mater. Did you guys
Yep.
overlap at all? Did you?
No, I never overlapped with CJ in particular, but my roommate, who was the volunteer coach and my best friend at the time when I was at Maine, played with CJ for many years. So CJ
Oh,
and I
cool.
have always kind of known of each other. And then this year when, I got hired and they got signed, they were just like super pumped to have another black bear, on the roster. And we still kind of exchanged some Maine related jokes. So it was a cool connection because not a lot of people played there or worked there. So
Yeah.
Hmm. So how different was it going from Long Island to Maine? I know you said the obviously the city and the ruralness of it, but going from a college man's to
yeah,
a college females, how was it different? What
I
were
mean
the
it was really different for me. I think the biggest difference I noticed was just the players are so much younger. Like I was having to go from interacting with 21-year-old guys as freshmen to 18-year-old girls. and just a very, different social relationship that you have with them. Like they make you giggle, they make you laugh, like they make you roll your eyes sometimes, but it was a really rewarding experience for me, even though the hockey wasn't traveling everywhere to go play. It was a really rewarding experience because I felt like I could be their big sister a little bit in some ways, Like there was a few that were like, I'm thinking of signing up for a credit card. And I'm like, I don't know if we should do that. Like,
Love
of
it.
course, being their equipment manager, but
Yeah.
I had a super fun time with them in Maine and was best friends with our athletic trainer there, still am, and made us really, really good relationships there. And I really liked the conference we played in. It was one of the best conferences in the country, Hockey East. So spent a lot of time in Boston, New Hampshire, Vermont, like that whole circuit, Got a network playing a lot of beautiful buildings like a Guyanus, where we will get to play this year here soon.
Yep.
So no, it was a really nice time there. It was certainly, like you said, different from men's hockey. Especially, women's hockey as a whole, there's more obstacles to overcome. And that at the college level is even more significant. So having to use what I learned to think creatively, do fixing things in a cheap way, but an efficient way, and keeping the standard for the players was like everything led up to being able to do that for them. And I remember when I left and told them I got the assistant job in Boston, there was some tears on both sides.
Yeah.
So no, it was a nice experience. I'm just a little pissed. CJ and I were just joking about this that they built and debuted the brand new rink right after we left. So
Oh,
yeah,
Or
excited to go back and visit for a game there.
absolutely. Yeah. And so I want to know just because you talked about the coaching staff in Long Island was like all men and you were
Hmm.
surrounded by men. Was it the same in Maine or was it a much
No,
more female
it was much more
centric?
female, actually. We had Molly Engstrom, who was a pretty prolific women's national team player, played at Wisconsin. She was our coach there, and we had, I think, all but the goalie coach were female, the whole staff. And so it was the complete opposite of Maine. I went from getting my own hotel room every trip to having to bunk up with the AT, who's obviously my best friend now, but
Yeah.
it was the way we worked was different too. I feel like things just got talked out more quickly and a little bit more enmeshed, and it kind of gave me a taste of, oh, I think I like working with all women, like, or
Mm,
mostly women. Like,
yeah.
I think I like this. And I mean, when I took the job in Maine, the PWHL wasn't even a thing. Like, it was,
Right. Right. So
yeah.
I want to hear about this. Like, how did that? I mean, so the PWHL, like, they announced their inception, and like, you're like, there's a job available. I'm just going to apply.
No, no.
No. Oh,
The first year I wasn't even a part of the league at all. I was still in
okay.
Maine, and I know the guy who worked at Boston College had the Boston job, and I don't think they had too many assistants the first year, and then the last year they posted he ended up moving on to USA Hockey, and so they posted the job for an assistant and the head, and the person who got the head, my buddy Dave, actually worked for LIU as well a couple years after me.
Oh,
So we're
cool.
fellow Sharks. We had a fellow Shark connection there and a pretty good bond. And I applied, and it was just happened to be like a week after my best friend left for a job in the East Coast League, and so I was like, I've got to get out of here. Like, I need a new start. My best friend is gone, and everything just worked out so well in that regard. He brought me on board, and I was driving down. Fortunately, it wasn't too expensive to move, but I was driving down to Boston like a week or two later, and that was the
Wow.
start of my PWHL journey.
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
I,
Go ahead.
I mean, my questions, we've gone past it a little bit, but you said you were kind of like a big sister in Maine.
Yeah.
Do you have younger siblings? Were you already a big
Yeah.
sister?
Yeah, I have a 22-year-old sister. So
Mm.
I'm a little familiar with that age gap. I think I was 22 at the time and these girls were 18. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Okay.
it was a pretty natural fit. Same with my best friend. There was a lot of times just spent in the training room or the equipment room talking about life, talking about school, anything going through their head. I think it made you feel valuable more so than someone who just does the laundry or sharpens the skates. And I still
Okay.
talk to, and my first year I was there was girls on the team the same age or older than me. And
Yeah.
so I still have, like, some of them are still my friends to this day, still talk to them, like, would go visit them over the summer, like when I go up to Canada sometimes. So
Love it.
yeah, it brought me a lot of rewarding relationships there. So
Hmm.
Great. All right. So how'd you go from Boston to
Well,
Seattle?
wait. We got to talk about our year with the fleet. We can't like
yeah.
jump
Oh,
over
okay.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we don't care about the fleet, but like, let's not jump over your year with the
No, the
fleet.
fleet, the fleet were foundational in even the torrent being here. So
Yeah,
that's where a lot of
I
our players came from.
agreed.
So I have nothing but fantastic things to say about the fleet. When I got there, they really, the whole staff, I mean, I was pretty intimidated just coming from Maine. Like the whole staff welcomed me with open arms. Got in a pretty good rhythm there, working with the head equipment manager. He's a pretty quiet, reserved guy, and I'm much more of a talker, so things worked out pretty well. He actually took his wife and him had a baby mid-season, so he had a couple week maternity leave, which overlapped with our like super long road trip where we came out to Seattle for the takeover tour. So I
Mhm.
was
Oh
in
yeah,
charge for like that amount of time, and
cool.
I always
Back
thank him for
almost
his,
home.
yeah,
Yeah,
I always thank him for his son being born because it gave me the experience to get the torrent job. But no, it was just every obstacle in my past, whether it was at Adrian or LIU or Maine, it just felt like it prepared me in such a way I couldn't expect to get through all those things and not like freak out. Whether it's travel changes or last minute request or anything like that, something breaking, anything like that, I was just able to kind of like be like, all right, this is how we're going to approach it instead of, having to call people or freak out. But yes, I would say, even to this day, the day that we came and played at Climate Pledge, was probably the best day of my life.
yeah,
My grandparents are close to 90 years old and they've never seen me before. And so having them in the stands after like for that game, especially with how it went, the OT and then the shootout winner, like
yes. We were there. We were there. We saw
yeah,
it. Yeah,
I
it was
was just
amazing.
like, I told myself, I was like, if we could win one game this year in a spectacular way, I want it to be that one. And my wish was
Oh,
answered. I remember going up to the family and friends section after and just like hugging my grandpa and my grandma and my mom.
Oh,
And it was a really special moment and made all the hard work, worth it. Because you don't always get those moments when you play places. And
yeah.
like I said, I never would have thought in a million years that we'd get the Kraken, let alone the women's
Right,
hockey team that you'd even
right,
play in there. And then yeah, so the season kind of finished. Didn't not the way we wanted, but it
right.
finished. And
Yeah.
then the season finished. PWHL Seattle and Vancouver were announced, and that was kind of a moment where I was like, if I don't get this job, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, and then we found out that the GM was gonna be none other than Meg
Meg
Turner.
Turner.
And
Yeah.
I was like, if I don't get this job, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And fortunately, talked with Meg, talked with Hannah Armstrong, who's awesome, our director of ops, and they offered me the job. And I remember calling my mom and saying, they offered me the job. And she was like, no, they didn't. And I'm like, yes, they
They
did. And she
did.
was like, shut up. And it took her a couple minutes to even process that for the first time in 7, 8 years, I was gonna be here for more than a
Home.
couple weeks.
Wow.
And I mean, everything since then has felt like a pinch me moment for real. Especially like I talk about this with Mara Wagner a lot because we played against each other at camps and whatnot growing up. It was the same birth year. And
Mm.
she's like, it's crazy. And I'm like, you think it's crazy for me? You're the one out there practicing with Hillary Knight. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So no, I think I came here mid-September and really hit the ground running in terms of getting everything set up for the team, getting everything ordered. Fortunately, I already knew Hillary, who's our captain, so
Yeah.
pretty easy to communicate and get things, set up the way that she wanted, and knew Lexi, Brownie. I was obviously CJ, so pretty
Yeah.
familiar. Glad she picked a good group of gals, is what I told Meg when when I saw
she
her.
really
But
did.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now you're here, you're in Seattle. We have a team, we have a name, all this kind of stuff. I want to know what just like a day in the life looks like for you. Like, I mean, you could tell us about a practice day, you could tell us about a game
yeah,
day. I'd love to hear both. So
Yeah. Home game, away game,
yeah,
or
well,
both.
yeah, I don't want to talk about travel too, but we could talk about that after. So
yeah. So I would say that our my day starts pretty early. It's about a 4:30 in the morning wake up, but
oh
get to the rink about by 6 and That's when you get the locker room completely set up for the players. I vacuum every day. Replenish the gum, replenish the tape. Our team loves gum, so you always have to keep that stocked. And just kind of face everything as if they were walking in for a game day, minus the jerseys being different. And then once they arrive, which is probably about, usually 8:30, they kind of get suited up for warm-ups and start their days. And from there, I'm kind of just waiting, seeing if they need anything, sharpening skates. We practice a couple hours later, get the bench set up, wait on the bench. My assistant does a very good job of, being on the bench and changing blades if we need them to be changed and giving them to me to sharpen and kind of just going about whatever they need. And then after practice is over, team eats, and then we clean everything up and do it all over again. So I think a typical work day, including the laundry, which is usually the most arduous task, it's probably like 6 a.m. to 4. So practice day really isn't that bad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna invoke his name. Our friend Brian wants to know. We clink when we say his name because we
Mhm.
say him as. So he wants to know: Can you still smell? Like, do you still have a nose for the smell of the gear, or are you immune to that now?
I would say I'm definitely more immune to that now, but I can say with such certainty, going from men's hockey to women's hockey is the stench is so much less.
I love
Like,
Oh,
that.
that makes me so happy.
yes, women just take care of themselves better and take care of their gear. Think every day there's a different article of gear that's getting thrown in the bin to get washed. Like they care about looking good and smelling good. So it makes
Oh,
my
that's
job easier.
awesome.
Awesome.
I love it. Did you have anything?
I can't, I didn't even know that one of the biggest jobs of an equipment manager is vacuuming. So I definitely learned something new
Yeah,
today.
you would be a great equipment
I'm,
manager. She was a
today.
good
I'm a
vacuumer.
great vacuumer.
Yeah, we have a
Um,
nice shark vacuum. It's
yes.
important to vacuum, I'll tell you this, because when they walk with their blades, any micro dust or dirt or rocks can ruin the sharpening. So I always
Oh,
like to vacuum just to save myself a little bit of work on the back end, but also makes the locker room look nice. So
That's so,
pro tip. I love
yeah.
yeah.
that. And how are the practice facilities at KCI? I've never been in, the locker room or anything like that, so I don't know what those are like, but
No, it's great. We got the locker room branded with our logos all over the walls, under the stalls. Our doors wrapped. Like it looks very much ours, and the players and myself, we take pride in it. And so it's a good setup. It's a good setup.
awesome.
Not too long of a walk to the ice either, which I
Yeah.
think is the worst after a practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming home to Seattle, I mean Tacoma, obviously, but what was that like? And how close are you are you closer to the arena? Are you closer to KCI? Are you in Seattle? I don't
Yeah, I
know if
live
these
a
are
little bit
appropriate.
west of Seattle. I kind of tried to triangulate myself between the practice facility and the game facility. That way it would be about the same,
Yeah.
wherever each direction. It's actually a little bit closer to CPA lately, so been enjoying that. But and living in Seattle during the hockey season is just so weird to me to even be here because usually I am off somewhere else, wherever working. So
Yeah.
just to be
Right.
here, to be within an hour's drive of my family, especially my grandparents, is just something that I'm really grateful for. And it makes the,
Oh,
22-hour work days on game days, it makes that so much more bearable because I know I'm not having to spend $800 to fly home for Christmas for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it's never lost on me, and especially not like I know you guys went to our home opener, but
Yeah.
having us break that record and just even hearing the crowd after our last game,
Oh my gosh.
like even from the bench, the fans actually, I think you guys would find this funny. After we scored that first goal, the fans banged on the glass so hard that all the sticks fell over. And so
That's
wow.
awesome.
And so yes, but
Yeah, but
and
then you
so
had to
the
Yeah.
pick them up.
trainer and
Sorry.
I, mainly
Sorry, sorry.
me, were busy picking them up that we completely missed the game-winning goal.
Oh
Oh
no,
So I
and it
no.
was
didn't.
21 seconds later.
Yeah, it
I
was quick.
know we were still
Yeah.
picking up all these sticks, so I was like,
Oh.
Gonna have to find a better system next time to prevent them from getting all knocked
Yeah, I
over.
didn't even think about that. Jeez. Well, and it was loud. I mean, it was so loud that I guess the players couldn't even hear the goal song. Like they
No,
did.
we couldn't hear it
Yeah,
at all on the bench.
yeah.
Not at all.
Well, I'll
We
tell
knew what
you.
it was, and
Oh,
so
you
Oh, you
did?
did?
Oh,
Oh,
we could
okay.
kind of like I could kind of picture it in my head, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we were just so wrapped up in the moment, and you're never supposed to cheer as staff, but that was kind of a moment where I was like, let's go. It's going to be a
Yes.
couple days afterwards, and I always tell my assistant like it's always much better unpacking the bags once you win. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet.
Oh, okay. So tell us about game day. I want to
Yeah,
hear
I
because
want
you
to hear
said
about this
22.
22-hour
I know, 22
days.
hours.
that
I'm
might
like,
have
oh
been a
my gosh.
little hyperbolic.
Okay,
It's
it's fine.
probably
It's fine.
18 to 20, but depending. But
That's still a very long day.
yeah, it all just kind of depends on when we get into the facility, but obviously, we don't want the players handling their bags at all. And so we are the ones transporting them into the arena, unpacking them, setting them up, set them all up the same way, every time, same spots every time. Players are very much creatures of habit. Actually changed the seating chart from the first game to the second game. And I think I'm gonna have to stick with the
Did you see
second
our
game now.
faces? We were
Yeah,
like, no, you did not.
I did. I think we're
Well,
gonna
just
have to stick with the last game
I thought I
now.
was
Well,
gonna say,
obviously it
yeah,
worked.
whatever
Obviously
Yeah,
you
you
got the
did,
order.
whatever
yeah,
you did, that's the way we have to stay. We
I
can't change
know.
it.
I know. So
Well,
I'm very superstitious myself. I wore
yeah,
different shoes. I'm gonna have to keep wearing those same
yes.
shoes now.
Well, our oldest was at that. Our kids came to that game, that Wednesday night game. That was the first game that they came to, and our oldest is convinced that he's the reason that they
Yeah,
won, and so he's the good luck charm. So we just
yeah.
got to keep all the ducks in the same row so that we keep winning.
It's
So
all these little things that come together for the victory
yes,
off the ice,
that's awesome.
obviously.
Absolutely.
But no, a lot of players pregame skate, so just getting everything ready for them to get out there and, test the ice, feel themselves for the game. And then afterwards, resetting the locker room, doing the laundry, sharpening skates, any little things we need to do to prepare them for the game and getting the locker room dressed with the jerseys and the game socks and presentable for the media to come in and take pictures. Our social media team does a great job photographing the locker room. I've never had a team social media like be so interested in the locker room. It's very flattering. So take a little extra pride in it.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, and then, the players start showing up whenever they show up. I always love to give them a compliment when they come in with their walk-in outfits.
Mm-hmm.
It's
My
they're
wife is
very
all there for
creative and
that.
fashionable.
I'm very there for the walk-in outfits. That's my
Yes,
favorite part. So
yes. We have quite a few good fashionistas on the team as
yes,
well,
we
so
do.
we're
Yep.
spoiled with the
Yes, we
walk-in
are.
clothes. And then yeah, I mean, you kind of just, I mean, there's a million other little things you do to set up for the refs, set up for the visiting team, set up the penalty box, set up the benches. Besides all
So
that,
wait, you guys do all
Wait,
that?
you set up the visiting bed, the box?
well, yeah,
What?
you put out like bottles, tape, just the standard. There's a standard for the
But you don't
league.
unpack their bags and stuff in the
No,
locker room.
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
And they have trainers that travel with them,
Yes, yes.
or equipment managers. I'm
There's a
sorry. Yeah.
great team of, the other seven equipment managers are all very skilled professionals and got to
Okay.
meet almost all of them now. And so, well, I guess now all of them. And so just a lot of it's networking, communicating with them, making sure they have what they need. And then we have game day helpers who, help fill the bottles between periods, just take care of little things to make their jobs easier. So kind of just overseeing my assistant and then our game day staff, bringing more pucks to the penalty box, just things like that. Um, and whatever the players need, like I'd say probably the most thing I do the most during the game is change blades. So
Mm.
we have four blade cases. So sometimes players go through one or two sets a game, but usually not. We hope that the sharpening holds up if they wear their skate guards down the way, but not everybody does. So
So I'm the hockey newbie, and so like this is just like fascinating to me. Like I didn't number one, like I seen you take the blades out now because we have a
yeah,
picture of it, and I didn't
yeah.
even realize that the blades like came out of the skates. Like I thought when we sharpened blades, we just sharpened them in the skates. I didn't realize that they came out of the skates. So you take the blade out and sharpen the blade, and
Yeah,
then you put
I haven't in years sharpened a blade in the skates.
okay.
I think we use like a little tool that we set them in, and it's much easier to control the weight. Sometimes this heavy, sweaty boot will affect the angle that it's going on the sharpening wheel with. So to maintain consistency, it's usually the easiest to sharpen it without. And you don't want them getting rusty in the skate. So
This
taking them
is the
out.
coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like I just had no idea that all this was.
Yeah, I mean it's not something you guys are very gracious for having me on. Not a lot of equipment managers get to, talk to the media. So
This is I'm
We've
just
been excited.
I know. I'm
Like,
like, I can't wait to have this interview. Like, I did a deep dive on your Instagram and I'm like, she looks like the most interesting woman in the world. Like, I'm so
I
interested. I'm so interested. No.
hardly feel that way, but
Oh, but you are like, and that's the cool thing is that like I feel like you have such a humility about the fact that you're like, I'm here to serve the team. And like obviously, like that's the attitude you want your equipment manager to have. But
yeah,
it's just it's really cool. It's a really cool.
I
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I'd say about the game day is probably I would always tell myself in Boston, like probably 5 to 7 hours from puck drop is when I'm getting home. So the days are extra long because you got to wait for everybody to leave. You got to pack up all the bags, do the laundry, drive to the practice facility, unpack everything, unpack all the stuff
Wow.
you gave to the visitors and the refs and penalty boxes. So there's a lot of like transport that goes on that you kind of always got to keep in the back of your head and not to forget things anywhere. And
Okay, I have a question, and I'm
I
so
do too.
curious.
Go ahead.
How do you get all the bags back and forth? Like you don't load them in your car, do you?
no, we have a truck that
Oh,
takes
you
them
have a
back.
truck. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
No, I
like,
drive a
wait,
little
wait, wait.
Subaru. I would
That's
not be able
what I was
to.
like, what? Wait, wait, wait. Like I'm
Yeah.
just imagining the back of your car like
I
piled
know.
high with hockey bags.
I know. No, I can barely get my own goalie bag in
Well,
there.
that's what I was like. I was thinking like goalie gear. Like we have three. Like what are you gonna do with all that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, we have 26-foot long truck. Fill it to the brim. I think there's a picture somewhere of my assistant getting ready to pull it down and it's about to spill out.
Okay, can you send me that picture? Because I
Yeah.
would like to see. I would like to
Yes.
post that. Okay, I'll post
Yes, you
that
can.
for them.
That'd be
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, but we have a great team that helps load and unload everything.
Do you drive the
Yep.
26-foot truck?
And no, no, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my CDL, and
I have a funny thing.
we
I like to drive big vehicles. I'm weird like that. I know. I
You're
know.
good at it.
I don't know. I like to.
Yeah.
you feel powerful that
It's
way.
exactly it.
I don't trust myself to drive my little car in Seattle
Well, I
traffic.
was
I want to
Seattle
risk
traffic.
it.
That's
Seattle
yeah.
traffic is totally on
Yeah.
another
The
level.
lanes on I-5 are so tiny too. So,
Yeah. Yeah, especially with all that valuable cargo. Don't want
yes.
anything to get
No.
anything to get destroyed. But
No, no.
I'd say every time we pack or unpack the truck, even in the 2 games of doing it so far, we're more efficient at it and better at it each time. So I'm excited to see how militant we are with it by the end of the season.
Yes.
Love it.
So
Okay, what's your
All right.
question?
Well, I have a couple. I know,
okay.
and one's kind of just a segue into, I know we've only had one away game, but how is an away game different from a home game in the life of an equipment manager?
So depending on who you ask, away games sometimes are a little easier because they set up for you. They set up your benches. They do your laundry. They give you
Oh,
towels.
wow, they do laundry for
Yeah,
you?
You
and we do their
trust
laundry.
them to
Pretty
do your
reciprocal.
laundry? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
there's
it sounds like
payback.
you guys all work really well together. I mean, that would be
Yeah,
my like
yeah.
it
It's
sounds to me
really
like you're like we all work together. Like we just
yes.
happen to work for different teams.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we're all one team at the end of the day. So the equip manager team and do each other's laundry because it's not like we're going to be able to do it at the hotel. So
Yeah.
yeah, we that's what we take care of. And on the road, we just go with the gear, set it up, let it air out, and then kind of show back up with enough time the next day to reset it before the teams, get it ready for the coaches, the staff, whoever's going to be playing there and working there. And then just whether it's a separate truck or under the bus, just getting it back under the bus and over the border back home. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of an easier thing than having to manage all the space at the game or the home facility. But
Yeah.
Right. All right. My next question is, what's the best part of your job?
Mhm.
that's a tough one. I think there's a lot of really good parts of my job, but I think the best part of my job is to just see a job well done, whether that's, a win, a hard-fought game, a player accomplishing something that they've been working really hard on that not a lot of people see, or, being able to figure something out really quick for myself, fix something really quick, be intuitive with something, coaching my assistant into doing something that she hasn't learned yet. There's a lot of favorite parts of my job, and I think they kind of cycle through, and probably every day I have a different favorite part of my job.
Hmm. It's
That's good.
love opening packages too. It's always the best because all the packages get sent to my name. So
Oh, cool. Like all the
yeah.
equipment packages.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, love it.
You get to see the masks before the
Yeah.
goalies. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We
that's so cool.
just had some get delivered recently. So
Yeah, that's
makes me
amazing.
happy.
Okay, I have a question. Do you still play hockey?
Yeah, I do. I
Oh,
do. I'm getting set up to play, Seattle co-ed and probably Seattle women's
women's,
to
yeah, Seattle women's
some
Love
hockey.
it.
extent.
Yeah.
Love it.
So no, I'm really, really excited to get back into it. So yeah, I still
That's
play. I'm gonna still play goalie until my hips give out. So
Love it. Do you do the oops all goalie? Do you know about
Do
the
you know
oops all
about Oops
goalie?
All Goalies?
yeah, Sadie, my assistant, was telling me about that, and so
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try and get involved with some capacity. I'm not that good at shooting or scoring as with a goalie
Oh, no,
stick.
no. We've seen the games. You don't have to be.
No,
Bring your
yeah.
bring your gear.
But I think it's March 7th.
Is it March 7th?
Yeah, they're
The
doing an
women
all-female,
all-female one.
non-binary Oops All Goalies.
Nice.
So at Kraken, at the no, not
KCI.
Kraken, KCI. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
How's
No,
Sadie doing?
definitely.
I know she split her lip the other
I know she fell on the
She's
ice. I
such
know
a
we saw that.
trooper. She's such a trooper. Yeah, she she probably is gonna be flattered and slightly embarrassed that I got brought up.
Oh,
She might let me send a picture in, but she's such a tough girl, like, and she's the best. Like, I remember the trainer calling me and being like, "So Sadie had an accident." I'm here thinking she cut her hand open changing the blades, and they're like, "No, she just bit it a little bit." And
yeah.
Aw.
her and I went out and had a little goalie skate ourselves today, and she was like right back out there, so chipper, so happy. Like nothing will, like if I think I'm a positive person, Sadie's like the most positive,
Aw.
hardworking
Oh,
person. So super lucky to have her. And I told her it's her first hockey injury without gear on because we've all kind of had stories. I've got hit in the back of the head with a puck once on a backhand, so
oh.
we all of us who worked in the game long enough as staff have seen some stuff. So she got that monkey off her back pretty quick.
Love it.
Okay, babe, what's
Um,
the last word? She always gets the last word.
I think it's got to be sharpened because that's how we kind of connected with you. Just taking a picture of you, with the putting the new
Yeah.
blade on with the sharp blade, and you just seem really sharp.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I
Actually, I
I
think sharpening is my favorite part of the job. Like
Mm,
consistently.
yeah.
There's something to be said about a nicely manicured, beautiful blade. It's just makes me feel good that they're going out there with it like that instead of, all rusty and dinged up. So,
shaky. Yeah,
Oh.
love it. Job well
Well,
done.
yeah, no joke. I mean, honestly, like I had no idea. I mean, I know that there's a lot of equipment, obviously, but I'm so impressed by you and just it just seems like you're really dedicated to the team and
yeah.
to your craft. And I think that it just speaks volumes. And yes, of course, equipment manager, why would we not want to have you on the show? This is very interesting. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is backstage of hockey, right? Like, I mean, a lot of people don't realize all the stuff that goes on, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah, of
taking care
course.
of our team. And, you're just as much a part of that win that we had last week as any of them. So thank you.
No, it
Yeah.
was
Sorry
really
about the sticks falling over. That's
Yeah.
it
Well,
was honestly like if it led to the second goal being scored, but somehow it's all
yeah.
worth it. So
you know what? If we need
Knock
another
them
goal
over
next time,
after.
you'll have to knock them over. Like,
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, look,
Oh,
I'll do it.
that's so
Very
funny.
superstitious.
I love
But
it.
yeah, it's everything kind of happens for a reason. And I think I've had a lot of ups and downs in my careers. And looking back, I wouldn't have changed anything, honestly, because it wouldn't have led me here back home,
Yeah.
working for a team that I never thought would exist. As like I look out into the stands, and I felt the same way at the Takeover Tour game, looking out into the stands and seeing little girls cheering who are wearing the same jerseys that I wore growing up being like,
Yes.
this is crazy. I used to want to be a Seattle Thunderbird. Like, I
Yes.
not knowing that was impossible. And now that they have these amazing athletes to look up to on and off the ice, I just think to be a part of that, even so small, is something that I is never lost on me.
Yeah. Awesome.
it's wonderful.
Well, Gabby, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
very
Of
much. We
course.
Seems
Thanks
appreciate
for
lucky to
your
have
having
time.
you.
me.
We were lucky to have
Yes,
you.
we're lucky to
Thank
have you for sure. And we will always, we'll wave and smile. We like to stand behind the bench, but during
Yes.
warm-ups and stuff. So we appreciate you.
Still
And
have the
Not a climate
bracelet too.
pledge, but
oh
I'll
yes, that's right. I
It's-
forgot we gave you
Yeah.
guys all bracelets. Was that Vancouver? Was it
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in Vancouver because
Yeah,
we
the
can't
Van
get
That
you
was
behind
another
the bench
magical game,
at Climate
for
Pledge.
women's
Yeah,
hockey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was, oh, that's right, because we can't get behind the bench at Climate Pledge, but because we sit on the end, we don't sit
Yeah.
in the, yeah.
Yeah.
But But yeah, no, that was really funny because I was like, oh yeah, give the bracelets to the little girls. And they were like, can I have one too? I'm like, yes, please give. And
Yeah.
so just so you know, the woman, Aaliyah, who makes those was so excited that you guys, that all the,
Oh,
yeah, she was like, oh my gosh, really? The staff have them now? I'm like, yes, they
of
all have
course.
them now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
so
thank you
much.
so
Of
much.
course.
Thank you. Enjoy your family. I know you're home with
Yes.
family, so enjoy your family this evening.
Tell your mom
And
we said hi.
yes, tell mom.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk to everybody next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.